One. Hello and welcome to It's Your Business with Mario Toneguzzi on Megapix Media. Joining me today is Hilary McMeekin, Director of Communications and Investor in Education for the Alberta Securities Commission. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, Hilary, you folks released and launched the Fraudsters Playbook recently. Tell me what that is and why this tool and resource was launched.
Absolutely. Sounds good. So it is, as you pointed out, it's a resource. It's a resource for Albertans. Right now it's available on our website, but the whole point behind it is, we'd been having so many conversations with Albertans over time where people would say, I know you tell me all about the red flags of fraud, things to be wary of, but I just don't see how it would show up in my life. I don't know what to expect, right? They don't have the insights that we have where we work. So we created this tool, and we call it affectionately the Fraudsters Playbook. It is titled Don't Be Fooled by Fraud, and it outlines the 7 steps that a fraudster will take to earn your trust, to ultimately encourage you to make an investment and then steal your money. And the whole point behind it is to share that sort of insight while also pairing it with all the things that you can do to protect yourself all along the way, no matter what step you find yourself in.
Okay, what are those 7 steps?
So thank you. That's a great question. So the first step is the fraudster will target individuals, people that they think could be, the right people for them to talk to. The next step is to befriend and earn trust, right? Really get to what they feel like is a good relationship where they're getting information out of you, and you're sharing information with them because you think that they're your friend. Then they drop hints and sort of showcase how amazing the investment might be, right? They might show the sexy car that they have that says, look, you too could have this if you got involved in this cool opportunity. And then they offer the investment opportunity, and whether you take it or not is your choice. Then you receive your first payment back from that investment and you think, oh, it's real, I must be getting money. But then the next step is they disappear. We call it the ghosting act. They disappear, you can't reach them, you don't know where your money is, you don't know when you're getting your returns back. And you can't reach them, and then all of a sudden at the end, we call it the recovery act. The fraudster shows up and says, hey, for a fee, I can try to get your money back. Yeah. And so they're trying to take more money from you in that stage. And these are common steps that we have seen. So that's why we created the playbook.
Okay, then great information there. And how bad of a problem is it? How many people in Alberta are approached in some fashion regarding a fraud these days?
It's a great question, Mario. And part of the challenge is not everybody does report it to us, but based on our research, we believe that 1 in 4 Albertans has been approached or believe that they've been approached with a possible fraudulent investment opportunity. However, only 1 in 3 have actually reported it or reached out to the ASC to talk to us about it.
Yeah.
So there's there's so many more that we don't hear about. And we do want to hear about it, even if it's just a niggling feeling that you're not sure of and it doesn't sit right. Yeah. We want people to reach out and talk to us because that gives us information to jump on it as quickly as we can to try to hopefully protect someone else from being victimized.
Yeah. And who are typically the targets of fraud, the demographics that are most likely to be approached and hit with this?
Yeah, you know what? Another great question. Thank you. We see people from pretty much every age group, 30s and 40s, 50s and 60s, nearing retirement, and elderly people. And in fact, unfortunately, our seniors are quite often targeted because fraudsters know that they've saved their money. They've maybe got a pension, they've got assets. And fraudsters go for that. They also they're so kind and friendly, right? They'll talk to anybody, and fraudsters know, and they play on that. So quite often, seniors are unfortunately victimized. But honestly, Mario, it's the entire spectrum. It's that entire investing public that is And that's why we made it accessible on our website so that truly anyone, anywhere in Alberta too, can access this resource.
I'm glad you mentioned that. And can you mention where people can look up and find the resources that you guys have available, and particularly these Fraudsters Playbook?
Absolutely, thank you. So checkfirst.ca is our website for investors or potential investors. And as you pointed out, it's got lots of great resources on it, but right off the top, once you scroll down, you'll see the new Fraudsters Playbook. It just went live this week. It's accessible there, and there's also videos that sort of break down each step. And there's also a quiz if you want to check the quiz out and see where you're at and see whether or not that maybe you have a bit more insight than others do. So
Yeah.
It's a fun way to just check and see where you're at with things.
Okay, great. Thanks for joining us today, Hilary.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Okay, that was Hilary McMeekin, who is Director of Communications and Investor Education with the Alberta Securities Commission. This has been It's Your Business with Mario Toneguzzi. Thanks for joining us today.